So welcome back. This is the final video in our series, and what we're going to show you is the next phase. So in the previous videos, we actually ran our release, ran our tests. Now, if we look at this screen here, what we'll see is that build 194 has completed in this phase. We can now promote that into the next phase. Now, if I go to the top of this screen, what you'll see is even though we have this automatic flag set here, so if that was set and there was no approval gate, this is an approval gate, what happened is that release would have automatically moved from development into QA. So we would have taken that build from the development phase and then put it into QA and run the tasks. Now, in the phase we just ran, we actually had a series of automated tasks. These tasks can also be manual. So within CDD, you can define where there are things that you may still need to do manually. They could be included as tasks, and you see some of these actually do say manual tasks. We're going to actually promote this build. So I'm going to say, no, as the owner of the QA environment, I'm happy to take that build from the previous environment. So I'm going to click approve, and we click play. Now we've picked up that build from development. It's now in QA. We're now running that in QA. And we're going to leave that running while we go back to Agile Central. Now, all those tests we ran within the development phase, those results were posted back to Agile Central. So if we look at this example here, we can see that test case one, the build 194 ran. This is when it ran. We can drill into those results. So we can actually go and look at those results. We can see that it passed. Let me just go back to test case one here. There you go. Here's our results. And you can see build 194. This is when it ran. It was a pass. We can drill into that build number. Within the actual descriptions, we actually have links back to the test. So if these tests had failed, now we could click on this executive summary and go off to that executive summary for that report. So there's the summary report for that particular test. We could also go to the detailed report, like so. Now, obviously, the detailed report will take you to the main screen that shows you all the details and you can do the analysis of that test, whereas the executive summary is very much that high-level overview of the test. Now, as well as that particular test, we ran other tests. So we ran the test within our app test tool. And if we click on some of the other tests here, so that one there, if you remember, was the test we actually created as part of the Agile Requirement Designer. And we can see that it ran, and the results now automatically posted to Agile Central. If I scroll down here to this test here, we see some other tests. So all those test results have been passed back to Agile Central. The Agile Central team now have full visibility as to how those tests are progressing against their user stories. So I click on these results screens, what we see here is, again, now because this wasn't a BlazeMeter test, on the right hand side what you'll see is this link is a link to app test to get the app test report. So finally, let's just go back to our CDD product. And there you go. So you can see that release is now promoted into that environment, and we're up to the deployment. You can see the build number has been incremented. It's now 194. And that will then promote through our release all the way through to our production and into our production environment. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed these demonstrations. So what we've just shown you is how Broad can help you your continuous testing. And what we've shown you is we did the planning with our Clarity tool. That planning was integrated with our Agile Central to take those plans and to link them with the development teams. We then used our Agile Requirement Designer to then refine those requirements and also generate our test cases. We were able to create virtual services using service virtualization to replace those services that weren't readily available during our testing cycles. We were also able to not just mask our test data, we were to create new test data and also pass that test data to our application tool, and then be able to run our load testing using BlazeMeter. We then were able to, using our CDD product, to promote that artifact through our pipeline, and all of this using continuous testing by Broadcom. Thank you for your time.